It's a beautiful afternoon here on the Trinity campus. It's uncharacteristically quiet with the preschool closed and CFI closed, and none of the groups that usually come and meet on the campus during the day being here. But it's a beautiful afternoon with the sun out, and there's a certain quiet and calmness and serenity to the campus, even though that's not normal for this time of day on a weekday. Oops. I've been thinking a lot lately about sacred space and about how we take sacred space for granted and don't always appreciate it sometimes. And this campus is certainly be a sacred place for our community, given the way we gather here, given what happens here when we gather, given the way different people from the community intersect with our life here in this place. It's a place of rest and repose as well as a place of activity. And I really appreciate the fact that since I'm here, I can be in touch with this place when I want to be. And I'm very aware of the fact that right now you all can't be in touch with it as you normally are. And so I wanted to give you a glimpse of it in the video this week to let you have some contact with this place that is so sacred and important to all of us. And not so much because of what it is in itself, but because of the community that is at the center of it and the way in which our life with God is anchored here. Speaking of sacred places, Reverend Aaron has put on our While We're Apart page on the website a tutorial, so to speak, about how to make a home altar, a place in your own home that can serve as a focal point of prayer and devotion, a focal point of sacredness for you during this time when this sacred spot is not available to you. It's under the youth and children section of that While We're Apart page, but it's useful for anyone to look at the things you have around the house that you might be able to put together and make a sacred focal point for yourself in this time in your own home. And so take a look at that. We always recommend that you take a look at our While We're Apart page on the website. We try to put everything there that will anchor you to various places in terms of links and also the latest update information that we have. You all know by now that we are not able to worship physically together at this point in person until May the 10th is the way that stands right now. And so we've been talking a lot as a staff the last week or two about how we do Palm Sunday and Holy Week and Easter in this format, this online format that we're still adjusting to. It's been a wonderful way to reach out to people these last couple of Sundays. We've gotten some lovely feedback from many of you about how much you've appreciated the chance to connect to worship and to God and to community online through our worship live stream. People were writing in after last Sunday about how good it was to see Ron Valentino there and to hear the music, and it was great to have Brian and Kate there with us. And people are telling us what power there is in just being able to see us and hear us in a context, an environment that seems familiar to them. So it's really a privilege to be able to be part of that, and really moving to see how moving it is to so many people to just be able to touch base with this sacred place and through it our sacred community in this way. But at the same time, I have to say and I think everyone on the staff is a little heartbroken about not being able to have, especially Easter, in person together, because that's such a joyful time and it's so full of energy and so full of life, and it feels like it's really going to be difficult to not have that. So we're going to have some familiar touch points to that. We're going to have some, the brass there. We're going to have a quartet there to sing. We're going to try and put some touchstones in that online Easter service that will be familiar to many of you from our live Easter services of the past, but it's not going to be the same. And we can look at that as a disappointment, a grief, but we can also look at it as an opportunity to encounter Easter in a new way. How do we proclaim resurrection? How do we proclaim new life? How do we proclaim hope in the midst of a situation that doesn't feel like any of those things to so many of us right now? It's an interesting challenge. One of the things we're really excited about, actually, is the way we're going to try and do Maundy Thursday this year. It's a feast that commemorates the institution of the Lord's Supper, from which our communion service comes. And normally it's a small liturgy. We don't have many people who come for it. But since we can't have it in person, and since we can't really have communion in the way we would like to because we can't gather together in person, we wanted to find a way to maybe remember something of the spirit of the original Last Supper in a little more authenticity. And so we're planning to create an agape liturgy that we'll send out to people. And we're going to be asking people to gather at dinner time with their meals made around their tables at home on Maundy Thursday evening. And we're going to invite you to join us by Zoom from your table, we hope. And Franny is going to lead us through an agape liturgy for Maundy Thursday that will really make each of our tables sacred and connect us in that way. So we're excited about that, actually, and about what that might look like and how that might help us to encounter the mystery of that sacred meal in a different way than perhaps we are accustomed to. As you can tell by this video, we're still figuring out some of this video stuff and some of this online worship stuff, so we still have glitches. You may have heard a little too much wind in my narration here just now. We had to change the links all of a sudden for the worship last past Sunday, but we're learning, and we're negotiating that learning curve as gracefully as possible, and you all are negotiating it very gracefully with us, and so we're very thankful for that. We have some information that'll be coming out in the weekly email this week that will allow you to help out medical professionals in our community who are running short of supplies. There are some resources the Diocese of California has pointed us toward that I think will help us, if you're in the frame of mind to do that and you're able to do that, might allow you to help folks in our community who are on the front lines of treating people and caring for people who are in this situation. We also want to say the Family Ministries Commission is reaching out to families in our community to see how they're doing with young children. The parents of teenagers are getting together every week now online. The choir's getting together online. The bell choir has gotten together online. It's wonderful the way these different sub-communities in our larger community are getting together. The vestry met last night online, and we divided up some names of some people we want to be sure we check on amongst those folks. But of course, we can't check in with the entire community. We can't call everybody. We just don't have the resources to do that. And so the thing that it rests on my heart is, are there people who aren't able to access the online connections that we're making? Are there people who are struggling somehow, but are not able to say that or haven't said that to us? So we really, really want to invite people who may be struggling. If you just need someone to talk to, Aaron and I are happy to talk to you. People on our pastoral care team are happy to talk to you. If you need something, please don't hesitate to speak up. We're all in this together, and we can only get through it together. And so don't be afraid to reach out if there's something you need, and we'll do our best to meet you in that place where that need might be. And if you know of people in the community who you think might not be technologically connected with us the way they might be, give them a call and see if you can help them make that connection to us. If there are people who need devices to help connect with us, we have a couple people who are interested in making that happen. We just need to know that, and we're reaching out as best we can, but if you all join us in that reaching out, I hope we can make contact with those people who might who might need a little more attention and care during this time. As of now, we are not aware of anyone in the community who has this virus. We are aware of some folks living at the V, for example. The V has a case or two of the virus there now, as do some of our other senior communities. The Sequoias so far does not. So keep all of those folks in your prayers as we keep this entire community and our world in our prayers right now. And we hope you're well. We hope that you're able to connect with us. We hope that you're feeling a sense of the Spirit and of the community in this time. I'm going to apologize for the audio malfunctions in this caused by the wind, but it's great to connect with you in this way, even imperfectly as it might be. Take care, God bless, and we hope to connect with you soon.